Hello.
Weatherford, thank you so much for having us. My name is Claire Song, and I am one of the social emotional learning specialists. But we have Miss Kay Glade who will be presenting tonight. Do you want to tell more about yourself, Miss Glade?
Do you want to know more about me?
She is phenomenal.
I to be a parent educator. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Prather. So we're going to get to talk about helping our children love to read and sharing the love that we have of reading with them. So again, thank you for letting me be here. Our goal is to be the parent that helps our child be successful in school, not just elementary school, but then middle school and high school and senior high and beyond. If they go to college, if they go to trade school, when they get a job in life, okay? And that success starts now. Many of you may have had your children in early childhood, because I got to be an early childhood counselor at Barron and Isaacs for 10 years. It was fabulous. And I was an elementary counselor for 13 years. And then I was a substance abuse prevention specialist, like drug and alcohol counselor at the high school level for 8 years. So it's been really fun. 504 coordinator, so lots of fun things. But in order for us to help our children be the very best they can be, we're going to do lots of very great things as parents. If you'll look at all these parents, oh, it's so good to see everybody smile, playing games together, reading together. When I look at this, at the picture in the bottom middle one, I mean, most of them I smile anyway, but that one, just holding up that baby, and she is just so full of joy, and the baby is just like, oh, this is so fun. That's what we want life to be like for our children. You can see that they're together and playing games, and like I said, reading books. And it doesn't have to be a formalized setting to read together. Just sitting on laps, sitting on the couch, and everybody joining in. It's just great, okay? So what can we do to help our children be successful? There's really two things as parents that I'm gonna talk about in this little workshop that we're gonna try to do. And the first one is to build a strong relationship, because we know there's a direct correlation between our relationship we have with our child and how well they do in school and then down the road in life. And we also are going to help our children be successful by learning to read and read and read and read, because they'll be reading throughout their whole life. And we'll talk a little bit about this, but when we read with our children, especially when they're younger, we're snuggled in, they're maybe on our lap, or we're right beside them with our arms around them, and it's physically close and it's just cozy and nice, and everything else stops. All of our time and attention is right there with our child. And that's really what children want and deserve, is our time and attention. So we'll start with building the relationship, and then we'll talk about the reading, okay? As I just said, there's a direct correlation between our relationship with our child and how well they do at school and in life. And if you think about your children, they don't want to get in trouble because they don't want to make mommy and daddy sad or mad. And they want to make you proud. They want to make their teacher proud. They want to make everybody, oh, they want you to be happy with me. And so that comes from you having that relationship with your child, that you're important to me. You are a problem solver. You can handle this. I love you, sweetheart, okay? Parents are the most powerful people in a child's life, and they model what we do. We know that if we, oh, this toaster, and we hit that toaster and we're mad, 2 or 3 days later, a child will come over, oh, that toaster, and they'll hit it. Oh, that toaster makes me mad. And we wonder, where in the world did that come from? But they just mimic what we do. They model what we do, and they are watching us. And so modeling reading is a great thing. If we're reading, when you're bigger, you can learn to read, because kids want to be big. And so if we start reading to them, oh, they get to be big and learn to read. So we want to model kindness as well, how we treat one another, how we are respectful to one another and to other people. They will pick right up on that, and problem solving. Children love to be problem solvers. And when we tell them they're problem solvers, oh, that's really important. They think that's very cool. The two things, and it says children want and deserve our time and attention. And really that's what all people want. When you talk to your significant other, you want them to pay attention to you and to give you that time because you're talking about something important, okay? We like spending time with our children and they like spending time with us, but they want our time and our attention. If you've ever gone to the playground and had other kids, hey, mommy, watch me. Hey, Miss Glade, watch me, because they want us to have our time and attention focused on them, okay? And if we think about when we give them time and attention, lots of times, unfortunately, we'll give children an exorbitant amount of time and attention when they make sad choices. What did I tell you to do? How come you're doing that? You know you're not supposed to do that. Why in the world would you? I don't know what you think you're doing. I've told you before, and now, and that time, if we set a stopwatch, it would take a whole lot of time because we're talking. And if we think about spending that much time talking about how great they're doing, oh my goodness. Oh, look at you. You did that all by yourself. Oh, my word. Oh, I'm so proud to be your mom. I'm so happy to be your dad. Okay. Ask them, what was the best part of your day? And kids will a lot of times say recess, or they'll say lunch. And then as they get older, they'll say, I don't know. But find out what they got to do each day and how great it was. Sometimes when kids have been working all day long at school, and sometimes when we pick them up from school, we say, okay, so who'd you play with? What'd you do? How did you do? What did you do in math today? What about reading? It's too much for them. Okay, so little snippets are usually a little bit better. So what was the best thing about your day today? Children also want the gifts of limits and structure, and really that is a gift. Children feel safe when they have limits and they have structure. And so we want to give them those limits, give them choices. We'll talk a little bit about choices, but the important thing with choices is that either choice you give them, you're okay with. Do you want to hop to your room or jump to your room when it's bedtime? Do you want to have a piggyback ride to your room, or do you want to walk like a tiger to your room? So either way, they're getting to their room, and either way is fine. What we sometimes get caught up in is giving choices that it's really not a good choice, like you're going to do this, or I'm taking away your TV time for a week. Well, that's not really a choice for a child. Okay, that's kind of like a threat. And so you want your choices to be where either choice they choose, it's okay. Do you want to put your shirt on first or your pants on first? Do you want to eat breakfast first, or do you want to get dressed first? Do you want to put your backpack by your door or by the front door? Because either one, it doesn't matter. That backpack's ready in the morning, right? Enforceable statements. Some of this is through Love and Logic. And if you haven't heard of Love and Logic, I would encourage you to just Google Love and Logic, www.loveandlogic.com. Everything they have everything from pre-K through adulthood with parenting skills. And it's so easy that you think it's not going to work, but it works almost all the time. It's really wonderful and super easy. One of the statements that they say is, in this family, we, like when children are saying, how come I always have to put the dishes in the dishwasher? My friends don't. My friend, he doesn't have to put his dishes. Oh, sweetheart, in this family, we work together. Well, it's not fair. I know. In this family, everybody gets to work together. And it takes away the, well, you live in our house and this is how it is in our house. And you know what? If you want, go live at their house. See how much you like. Then that fight starts and it gets bigger and bigger and pretty soon they're mad, we're mad, and nothing goes right. Another great one is as kids get older and get into teenage time and they're pushing you and you're so ready to just kind of argue and love you too much to argue. And you turn around when you say these things, never stand there and look at them because then you're pushing them. So just say what you need to say, turn around, act like you're busy. Oh, yeah, love you too much to argue. Well, you never have to, and I don't. Oh, sweetheart, love you too much to argue. And because we want that whole, ooh, not put on us, because then we yell and scream and they yell and scream back, and pretty soon we're in this match. We just gently hand it over to them. So if you guys have questions or things you want to know about any of this stuff, please just, give us a holler. So how and when do we introduce reading to our children? When do our children get to learn about reading? Well, they get to learn about reading from the time of, some people even read to their baby when their babies are in their tummies. Oh, look, because they hear mommy's voice and when we read with our children, we want to read with expression. Now, when we're tired and they're tired, reading with expression is kind of out the window because you're just trying to get through, and that's understandable. But we want to make reading fun. So just like chores, we want to make chores fun, so they want to do them. We want to make reading fun, so they want to do it. And we always show, I just love this picture of this little boy in the upper left, where he's seriously reading his first 100 words. This is serious business. I know how to read. I just love that. And the little girl that has, and so there's all kinds of books. I brought some books in my bag to show, but there's board books. There's the books that are the tactile books that, make that crunching sound like for little kids. Oh, you're the best. Thank you, honey. Thank you. So we want to read books that are on their level, that are age appropriate. Okay. You can see that, like, I know that these pictures, some of them were posed and they're smiling, but we do smile a lot when we get to be with our children and something funny happens or something funny happens in the story and we giggle and they just giggle. And what a great way to get to spend time together instead of arguing and fighting. You'll see that the gal that's reading to the students, she's got the book open, showing them the pictures. Illustrations are a wonderful part of books. And we'll talk about that when we talk about the picture walk. And then in the lower right and the upper right, where mommy is just right there with them and they get to read together. And it's so fun. So, like I said, we're going to make reading fun, and bonding takes place when we snuggle up and read together because we are right there. And what a great way to spend time. Have reading be part of your child's bedtime routine. And that goes back to the choices of, do you want to read when you're really tired and they're older kids, do you want to read one paragraph or two or one page or two? Or when they're younger and those books are little bitty, you can say, okay, sweetheart, do you want one book or two books? And you can maybe pick the book, so they're not picking one that's like too long and you're too tired. I know there were times that I would fall asleep reading books to my kids and they would finish them for me. So have that be part of their routine. Routines are wonderful ways of having those limits and that structure for your children, that they have a routine. The backpack is going to go here. Maybe they lay their clothes out, or maybe they choose them in the morning. However you want to do that, but you have a routine, and reading is part of a bedtime routine, which is fabulous. When I talked about age appropriate books, these are board books. They're the kind that little little children can read and they can't tear the pages. And this one just has all kinds of pictures. And so you just tell the story as you're like, oh my goodness, what is he doing now? Oh, look. And the kids get to talk about it and look at it. And it's so fun. Whatever books you like, they're going to like. I love you so much. Oh, and the pictures are silly. When we do a picture walk with a child, that's when we look at the cover. And if you haven't read Tacky the Penguin, I need you to get Tacky the Penguin, one of the best books ever. The Kissing Hand is great. All these are great books, but Tacky is so silly because life gets kind of serious and we get home from work and we've got to make supper and we've got lots to do. So we've got to hurry. And this is just takes it away from all that. He's just so silly. But talk about what you see, who the author is, who's the illustrator. What in the world? What are they doing? Wait a second. Is he a penguin? What does he have on? A Hawaiian shirt? Do penguins wear Hawaiian shirts? What do you think is going to happen? So you look at the pictures, you talk about what you see, and then you get to read together. Flip books are fun, books that they get to pull and something happens. Those are fun. Rhyming books. Kids love rhyming books. Dr. Seuss, of course, has tons of rhyming books. And there's lots and lots of books that are fabulous rhyming books. And that way you can read and they get to finish. Oh, you're so smart. You knew what that was going to be. And then how many words on a page? Because we don't want to overwhelm kids. That's what we see. Make predictions about what's going to happen next. And then after you're finished, what was your favorite part of this book? I don't know, Mommy. My favorite part? No, Daddy, I don't know. You know what my favorite part was? My favorite was when he went swimming. Do you remember? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. And so sometimes they need to get their cues from us and then they'll start talking a little bit more. But the more you can talk about what you've read, how you're reading, the better. Because that's what we do at school. And we're also teaching them about following directions. We want children following directions. That's an important part of their behavioral piece at school. And so when we at home say, well, where's the fish? What fish? What color is the fish? Red, touch the red fish. So you say, touch it, and they do it. And you go, just like that. You knew just where that red fish was. Where's the green fish? Right there, but there's two. There's two fish. You're right. Okay. So have those conversations. We talked about children want our time and attention. I don't want to go over. And we're physically close. We're being together. And when you oral read, when you read with your children, you can, like with bigger books, as kids get older, you can take turns reading pages, because sometimes it's hard for children to have the fluency to read and they get embarrassed reading in front of their friends, and it's hard. And so if you can practice that at home, where they read a paragraph, you read a paragraph, or you read two paragraphs if they're struggling. They read a page, you read a page or two pages. You read a chapter, they read a chapter, however you want to do it, but help them to become more fluent readers. And when we use different voices for, like with Tacky, there's definitely different voices, because goodly, lovely, angel, neatly, and perfect. We're just so perfect. And this is Tacky. Oh, Tacky was an odd bird. And so when we change our voices and we make it expressive, it makes reading so much fun for our children. These are just some validations that we might say to our child. We want them to understand that we think they're fabulous just because they are. But when we say things like, oh, you know how to do lots of things. And that can be when they put their dish in the dishwasher, when they're trying to help you wash dishes and there's suds that go everywhere. You can clean that up after they go to bed, but let them know how much you appreciate their helping you. I'm so proud when I see you try so hard, and that can be when they're doing their homework and it's just hard. Your smile makes my heart happy. Oh, I just smile when I hear you read. I'm so happy when I get to sit and read with you. Come on, let's get this, let's have some time to sit and read. And if you don't have time and you have to read when they're in the tub and whatever, or at breakfast or whatever you, however you want to do it, okay? They love this one, love it. I love having time just with you, because if you have multiple children, you're not able to give all the time and attention that you would like to every child, because you're splintered in all these directions, in all these pieces. So I love having time that I get to spend with all of you, but I love having time that I get to spend just with you right now. And it can be one page of the book, okay? I love to hear you read. You kept working till you figured it out. Wow. You are tenacious and hardworking. And when we say words like tenacious, they're like, what is that? That's a word that means you never give up. And kids love when we use big vocabulary words, because then they can use them and think they're really important. So use big vocabulary words. It's so fun. You make me so happy, so proud, so glad to be your daddy, so glad to be your mommy. Look at you. You figured that out all by yourself. Okay. And again, it's how we say it. If we say, you figured that out all by yourself, versus, oh, you figured that out all by yourself. It's the same words, but the meaning's very different. So we don't want to be sarcastic when we say those things. Oh, I think we're doing good on time. Enjoy sharing the love of reading with your child. Just enjoy, because those of you that have older children know it flies. And if you have younger children, like you guys have elementary students, and if you have little ones, we know it goes quickly. It's very busy, but very fun. So thank you for sharing the love of reading with your child. That's so awesome. And thank you for letting me join you tonight. Are there any questions? Oh, wait. Okay. And then we want to do your 2 slides. Oh, sure.
If you have a question, you can type it in the chat. And I see Dr. City is on, so you can. Okay.
Oh, I wanted to tell you.
Oh, and one last thing, just to end this session, we wanted to let all the parents know of other parent education series that we have here in the district. We have partnered with Plano Children's Health, and they are doing a safety series every Tuesday in English and Thursday in Spanish. And these safety series have been very intentional on the topic. They've seen an increase in accidents in of these topics, such as sleep safety or home safety, water safety, or gun safety in their ERs. So they're wanting to educate the community. So if you are interested, please join us virtually from 1 to 2. And one last thing, if you want to know more about our parent education engagement program here in Plano, please join one of our many classes. We will be so happy to see you guys there. Thank you.